So as I thought, I'm not done with regulations and there's still some problems actually. Thing I did yesterday is trying to have the hammers in the middle of the three strings. So some are really on the side, to the right or to the left. So here the string is fixed. You cannot move the strings, right? So I had to move the hammers sometimes, but actually they were mostly fine. And there were sometimes like 5 in a row that I have to move to the right or to the left to get them really in the middle. Same here, but then for the highest notes until there, especially this one, you can push the strings because they are just going under this here. There's a lot of tension, so they are quite strongly fixed, but I had to move some strings to the left or to the right, or see if the hammer was too much on the left and the right. So there seems to be a bigger gap for the hammer there, but yeah, with the camera it's difficult to see because the strings influence it a bit. So I was looking that, oh, this one looks really to the left. They could be also like not straight, and I have to bend them a bit with heat, so this could be another thing. So I tried to have all the hammers in the middle of the strings, move the hammers or the strings, and it looked better now. So that's one of the regulations I had to do. And then I will have, with a special tool, try to have all 3 strings at the same distance. So there's a fork that you put the string. So that's something I still have to do. Then I had another problem, is when you played piano, I still have it here maybe. Sometimes I had a double. There you have it. Sometimes the hammer is hitting twice when you play very soft. So I asked Florian if he knew why, and he told me actually this thing where the hammer goes until so many millimeters of the string, I thought it should be the closest possible, like on Steinway, but actually he told me it should be more. So now I made a tool. I measured the thickness of this thing, it's more or less 3 millimeters. I bend it and I just go under the string and so I can see the hammer comes touching this and then goes down. I will try first with this, and I tried with these hammers here, it seems to solve the problem, so I will do them all here. I have to redo all this, turning these things here until it's 3 millimeters and then play on it and see how it goes. But seems better. I made some progress actually. I was painting this with a darkener for wood and it looks now the same. Maybe I could put one more layer and I will have to take it off and see that everything is nicely covered. I did the same on this side. Looks a bit the same color again, since it's a palisander Beitzen. There I did more, so it looks a bit more dark, and then I will buy black painting and continue the black lines here, so that you don't really notice from far here. And I think this will make it because I don't have the matching wood for this. So same for this foot, this I have to sand. I did the same color in this, so now it looks the same, you don't really see the difference anymore. Still have to sand it. I'm working on this, it's not easy. So I bought these half circles. This one I need for I will show you later. And then I was cutting and sanding one to have this quarter circle to fit here. I will have to find a way to make it thicker because I have 2 millimeters left here. Maybe I can fill it with other wood and then bending it will be another challenge. And the half circles are to finish these parts here. This one, so this again I was testing, see how it looks. So we'll just glue them here. This one I will have to bend too. They are missing a lot here, there, and this, and then the lower part of this are missing too. So I have to glue them, bend them, then color them, and see how it looks, and I think it will be fine. Repair some stuff like this also. And then I have to go to the sanding. And then for these missing parts here, there are 3. There is one missing, there is missing, and then here's one missing. This is the only thing I have is this, which doesn't really fit, so I cut 2 blocks and I glued them together to have the right, because this is not large enough, this is too large but it's too thin. So I took the larger one, who I think would fit, and then I would cut it and try to sand it until it's exactly the form I need. So I will try to bend this. First make this part here wet, letting the water soaking into the wood, and then I will try to heat it on this part with the iron there's also steam coming out there, and trying to bend it very slowly, and when it's completely bent, fix it with this one there and let it stay for some hours. Let's see if this works. So I tried to heat the wood with this, this was not strong enough, and with this is too small and not hot enough. Then I tried to heat it with a flame and bend it, so it didn't work. So second option, I will try to cook this in hot water for 5 minutes and then bend it on the place it should be. So yeah, I noticed it's bending when it's cooking at 100 degrees, so I thought I'd just put it in there until it goes to 100 degrees for some minutes, and then I try to bend it on this because I should try to have the form actually. It started to bend after a lot of time, but it finally broke. So I'm done cutting wood parts that are fitting, and sometimes I had to really fit them like this. This one is an old one I put back, this is a new one, and then I still have the problem of this corner to solve that I'm thinking I didn't manage. This little one I did too. This corner I have to glue back. Some other stuff actually are a bit loose and I will have to glue back too. And then, like here, you see, this I have to glue back. And this I realized at first I have to glue this here before making one for here. And I will have to do the same thing for the corner here. And when I'm looking at this, I realized I probably didn't bend it. I'm not sure, but it looks like they made pieces and glued them together. Same for here actually, you can see that you probably didn't bend it. Looks like it's cut out of something, so they probably made a corner and then sanded it down or phrased it until it was matching. So there you have it, drying. We'll see how it was tomorrow, and then I still have some little stuff to glue and start working on this corner. I bought a machine to make this corner, so I would make a thick, like a just flat corner that I cut out of a piece of wood, and then I will pass with this machine who make this side round and then the other side, and then I would just sand it to have it perfect. Same for this one. So after I glued these two parts here, I just drew what I have to cut out. So you can see like this. Now you don't see the marks maybe precisely. So I have to cut out this part here actually. And then actually try to be a bit wider and then sand it until it's fitting. So now I'm cutting out these parts, and it's a pity you cannot smell on video because it really smells exotic wood. I was in Africa once and it remembered me the smell of Africa. Now this wood comes from Brussels, but something like exotic smell. So I just basically cut out a wooden block that will fit more or less there. So I made it bigger so that I can still sand it. It should be the right height. Now I think I just have to sand it a lot, like you see there. So I managed to have this. It's fitting. Now I need to see. Here is already good, but there I need like maybe to here and there. Yeah, a bit more away. So I'm quite happy I made it. Now I have to fine sand it. I made a piece really matching out of two other pieces, and it seems to be actually not the same wood, but like so, and it's fitting, as you can see. I could make it a bit thinner, maybe here a bit. So I will just hand sand it now so that it's a bit smooth, and then I will glue it. So there is the piece. I'm actually really proud of. It's like a wooden sculpture that should fit. If you saw the block, the starting block was really very, very different. Look how nice this is fitting here. So I have to glue it, and then this corner, and then actually I will sand it a bit when it's glued, because then I can follow the lines around here. So I'm done doing this one. This one I messed up a bit. I put some glue to cover this. I was just sanding it a bit too much, so it's not smooth there. But it's doing the job, and same with this one. I went a bit too far, but it's making a nice corner, and here is this some big gap, but I don't know if I can fix this, but actually it's okay. I'll maybe try to fill this bit with something. Trying to repair the little things, so this was coming loose, I glued it, but then didn't do it correctly, because when I took the wood off the thing that to block it, it was sticking to this, so this came off again here also, so I have to redo 2, 3 and then sand it and see how it's looking. Then I'm gluing this part there. A big part of the veneer was coming off. I started sanding this, then the color goes off, so I should first sand it and then color it. And then to fill this gap there, I had to come up with stuff. The only things I still had left of this kind of wood, so I made something like this that I will have to sand until it's fitting, and then with the machine make this corner here round. And then I have the feet to do more. I forgot I have some veneer left that's gone there that I have to repair, and I have to work on the feet. So what I'm trying to do there, I'm trying to cut a corner that I traced with a pen here that would go on this. And then I would just make, because this is the shape here of this more or less, right? Then I would just go with the machine like this around, and the other side like this to have it around. Let's hope it works. So the mistake I made is I made it too thin, and since I was not cutting straight here, I would have to sand it in the middle to adjust it, but then it will get even thinner, and then then it's not thick enough here. So I have to make it bigger so that I can sand it to adjust it, and then I still have some left. So I have to start over and give it over the line, make it thicker. This way is better. I manage a piece here that really fits more or less, and then I will glue it, and then I will actually make the corners round like the rest with another machine. Now I just did this corner too. I hope it will be fine when it's rounded. And this one has to dry till tomorrow, both. This is a new attempt. I will do the same, actually have the line drawn here, so it would fit there. I've pre-cut this thing like this, and then I will have to sand it to the right measurement and be careful. Then I realized I would not be able to do this with this corner machine, because it needs a reference here to follow, and I cannot put any because it's wood block. So I will have to sand this also. I will make a line here to see until where I have sand. So I will first sand it like this, and then I will sand it like this by hand. It will be tricky. Same here, right? If I would make a corner with this machine, I would have to make a guiding line here, a wood to be against it, and then follow this line. Otherwise, the machine just could go like in all directions, and I would make holes. So this will go so like partly machine sanding and then hand sanding, so that it looks as much as possible like this. Same story for this piece there. So that's how I sanded it with the machine. Not going too far, and now I will hand sand it so that I can progressively see the progress. I was almost done sanding this corner, but then my son woke up and I'm actually really happy. This is looking fantastic. This is getting really nice. I broke this, but I have to glue it and I will have to fill this anyway here. This side looks great too. It's a bit shorter than the other one, but it will look nice at the end. And you can see, actually this is still a bit too thick here. I need to have this perfectly round and then I will be fine with this corner. And then I will make it the same color as the rest. Then I will sand the whole thing and start varnishing it. There, but again the corner. You can see it's not perfectly aligned. It should be perfectly, and it's too thick here. That's too thick still. So still have to do more here. Yeah, it's really like sculpture, like sculpting wood. I love this. So that's what became from this piece of wood that I tried to have matching here, which is matching okay. Here I did a bit too much. I can try to fill it with glue and then I will finish hand polishing so I don't do too fast and I don't make mistakes. And it should look okay. Let's see. I'm done with this one and I'm quite happy. I will keep sanding the whole thing and then sand this with it. There you have it. This one is done too and I'm also quite happy. I'll keep sanding it with some thinner paper. So I'm done with the corners problem and I'm really happy with it actually. I will have to fill a little bit this with wood filler maybe. It's a side you don't really see. And now I'm really interested actually in veneering this. And I realized another thing is by sanding this, the dark wood comes from under. So I will have to sand the feet and sand this to look how it was before when I started sanding it. And there you see too, this part I sanded more than this one. And here I started the same sanding more. You can see the difference with here, right? There's less, there's sanding more. So I just had to, except with this wood, which is a different wood apparently, but then all the palisander, if I sand it more, it gets dark, so it's really the sun who make it clear, but then I cannot sand it too much, but I think it's fine if I sand everything like this. A little bit more there, you see the scratches. And then I'm still messing a bit with this, because I did a regulation, I thought I wanted to have them all equal. I changed something and it got worse, so I put it back how it was, and I will have to think again on how it works. By the way, I got the last string, which now is there, so all the strings are there. There you have it. So now the thing that's left, because I'm done filling all the gaps and everything, I will have to cover this piano inside, so close it, these two. I will have to close this one and put something on it, and then I will have like 1 or 2 days of sanding everything from big grit to smaller grit before I start French polishing everything. This is, I think, the last chapter of the piano before it's completely done.